October 2021, and so I've been talking about this for like 2 days now, and then they just keep doing more and more stupid things. So um, I'm gonna link in the description. I haven't done it yet. I meant to do it just now, but I forgot. So I'm gonna do it after the video, and then also comments that you make during the video, they don't show up as comments on the video for later. So when the video's uploaded, not now while it's live, but once the video's uploaded, if you would, if you want to participate, go back to the comments, and you can see in the description, I'll link the video that I'm talking about, and then you can go back in the comments and let me know what you think about this whole situation, and excuse me, what I'm about to read to you. So, what I'm gonna read to you right now is a police report that I've written up. I already got the papers, because I have to do this so often and they don't do anything about it. So, I'm gonna take this to Clayton County. That's my local police department in Georgia, and I wrote it already under the same case number that I've been writing these under, and so when I kept going back, excuse me, when I kept going back, they told me, hey, go ahead and just write these. No problem. I appreciate you as well. Um, so they told me to go ahead and write all of these under the same case number. They're like, if you just want to add, it's the same thing going on, you can just write it under the same case number and just turn it in like that. And I'm like, okay. And it helps me because I know they're not going to do anything. All right, so I can just go there and hand them this and then just leave. And basically, I guess what you could really say I'm doing at this point is building a case against them. It would seem like, because they're not doing anything, and what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to deal with them. So to make them have to deal with the case and these gang stalkers. So what I got here is the case. All right, so it's got my information, and then I'm gonna read it to you. Okay, so here we go. All right, I just started off like I'm kind of rude with them a little bit, but not too much. So let me know what you think about this in the comments. And it's about the thing that happened yesterday, and I'll link that little video in the description. So it says, I've made over 20 reports that a group of people are hacking my devices and networks. Most reports being under the same case number. I was told months ago that a detective would be assigned to my case and I will be contacted. I've yet to be contacted by anyone at all. Most of the reports have evidence supporting my claims referenced in the reports. I've been very patient thus far, but I'm becoming more frustrated with the local authorities for not upholding the law and protecting my rights and property as a citizen. If you do not have the resources, may I suggest referring me to the GBI, that's the Georgia Bureau of Investigations. It's like the state version of the FBI. It's the GBI. Okay. I've spoke with them, and they require a referral from my local department. That said, on October the 3rd, 2021, I discovered that much of the space on my iPhone was inaccessible. This is because a group of hackers have allocated the said space to host what is known as a virtual machine. It's basically the software that makes up a computer device, but it has to be hosted online or on a physical device to use the computing power of the physical device. It could be a clone of the physical device or a computer, or I'm sorry, or a completely different device. This is a common practice, so I knew that's what was happening since it's an ongoing problem. I decided to back up the device to try to obtain the unauthorized data. At that point, I began to record video of the process. In the video, you can see the process failed on multiple attempts with inconsistent reasons. The true reason is the hackers are protecting the data. In this process, you can also conclude that my MacBook and networks are also infiltrated. It is very conclusive and the problem persists. I will list a link to the supporting video. Aside from this incident, on multiple occasions, including around 8 p.m. on the 4th of October, 2021. My video files have been corrupted or edited to get rid of evidence against this group. An 11-minute video was edited, deleting the first 8 minutes. This is a typical type of event dealing with this group. I understand this is digital and intellectual content, but that does not make it less valuable than physical content. If half my car was stolen, then you would open an investigation. This is the same and has happened 1,000 times, and the police seem to discount this as unimportant. The law is the law. My rights and my property are violated. OCGA 16-9-90. That's the Computer System Protection Act of Georgia. And many of the laws in that bill are violated every single day in my case, and I can prove it. Okay, and so these are real laws that are on the books now, and they have to be upheld. Okay, the group behind this consists of blank, 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 blank. I wrote down all these people, and I do it every time. I wrote down all the people that I know for a fact to be involved with my situation, and some of them got a lot of favoritism going on here. So blah blah. And then several others I'm not familiar with. They operate as a gang. They call themselves Viva la Crucial. Please uphold the law or refer my case to an agency that can help. And then I reference the links to the video and stuff. So that's the type of reports that I do. And this it's pretty conclusive, but if you want, I'm going to link it in the description. You could go check out the video. I put it out yesterday. You could check out the video and tell me what you think, whether it's conclusive. And see, it's this thing like where you can obviously see that my devices are hacked and infiltrated, my accounts and my network, and it's all infiltrated. So usually while I'm making the videos, they are paying attention. It's like when you're busy or when you're involved with something, they're interested, they're paying attention. But sometimes if I start getting carried away, something they don't want me to talk about it, okay, that's enough of that. All right, they start trying to do things to me or whatever. But I'm also on video, and you got to remember that the things that they do, like attacking me and stuff like that, it's in the video. There's like people that have access to their neural monitoring settings can do things or like run it through the right filters or whatever. You can see that, and so that's like criminal evidence of a physical attack and stuff like that. They do it anyway sometimes, but because they get on this broadcast stuff, and when they're on mind control, living as the broadcast, they tend to lose track of reality, like like they're living in a cartoon. What's up, bro? The gang's talking. So this thing just disappeared. Now I'm stuck in a. Okay, here we go. I don't know that disappeared before I could read it all. But I want to know what you guys think. It's like this. If somebody steals my car, right? I already used this in the report. Or if somebody steals something from me, or if somebody does a crime to me, or some kind of crime against me, or whatever, right? And you can see that this crime happened. So we know this crime, the car's missing or my door's kicked in or whatever. So you know that this crime happened, all right? You don't have to know who did it. In my case, I do know who did it, and I've referenced these people, all right? But you don't have to know who did it, okay? It calls for an investigation, and that's the police's job. Their job is to investigate criminal activity. They could catch you in the act and arrest you, or they can do an investigation. And that's what they do. They are supposed to investigate crime. And so what I'm doing is I'm proving that these crimes are taking place. I'm also referencing the evidence to prove that's what I'm doing. I'm proving that they take place by referencing the evidence. Here's the evidence. I can show you that these crimes are taking place. Here's the laws that are being broken. So you know that these laws exist, and here's the evidence that these crimes are happening. Now, it's your job to go and investigate these things, and I don't, to be honest, I don't usually watch anybody else's videos. I know I should, and I should be more involved with other people and stuff like that. But I swear, man, I've noticed that so many people, like when I do have them stuff, when I have watched videos and stuff, it's like so many people are so far off track, man. And I don't want to waste my time listening to somebody talk about more gallons and microchips and a bunch of stuff that it ain't, what I know it ain't. Um, Texas and Cali too. Hey, you know my inbox stays full. Okay, I've been doing this for a long time on YouTube, and a lot of people contact me. And you know, you guys can hit me up too. You guys can hit me up. I don't get back to everybody every time I try though. I try, and I've talked to a lot of y'all. But you guys could definitely hit me up. You know, you want to talk, and I still do interviews if you want to do interviews and stuff like that. I'm with it. Okay, I'm with all of that. Um, you know, I'm trying to find time to do more, but um, a lot of people hit me up, and I've noticed that more people hit me up probably from Texas than anywhere that are targeted. But it's going on everywhere, and I've talked to people probably in every state and a lot of different countries and continents at least. Um, but a lot of people they're taking reports. Put the link in there where if you know something like that, put the link in there, and I'll give them some reports, and I'll help to promote that because it's important. It's definitely important. And gang stalking is, they know anyway. They can look at neural monitoring stuff and find out who's gang stalking. Okay, I guarantee you that probably 99% of elected officials have neural monitoring. Probably 75% of lawyers and judges have neural monitoring. Probably 50% of all people with over $1 million have neural monitoring. Yeah, you can hit me up on my inbox. Look, it's email kevinchristian@gmail.com. Like, you got to include the email part. Email Kevin, or you can hit me on Facebook, on Messenger or whatever. Not too hard to find. I got all the pages too, the targeted individual page and the artificial telepathy page, and then I run a bunch of the groups on Facebook. No problem. Yeah, hit me up. Um, so yeah, I mean, when a crime's taking place, it is the police's job to investigate the crime. And whether you know who did it or not, that's their job to find out who did it. All right. And if they don't want to uphold the law, then it's mutiny. There shouldn't be no laws then. Okay, but they're not upholding the laws, and I've referenced, here's the laws that are being broken. Here's the proof that the crimes are happening, that those laws are being broken. So now it's up to the police to do their job, and they haven't. And I've been filing under this case number 20 something report, over 20 reports for over a year that I've been using this case number, and over 20 reports, probably 22 or 23 reports under this case number since September of 2020. Okay. And so it's time for them to do something. And I've probably got another 10 reports before that. And I used to talk about gang stalking and weird stuff because it's what's happening. But they did tell me that there's no laws against that or whatever. But depending on how you look at it. um, did you say public? Did that say public figures? I was trying to read it real quick. Um, you know, a lot of people are being gang stalked, but a lot of people don't know that they're being gang stalked because the big difference comes when they start talking with artificial telepathy. Um, I don't believe politicians are being gang stalked. Okay, I don't believe it because I'm pretty sure that most of them have access to their neural monitoring, and probably all of them, just about. You know, if these dudes around the corner and some of these uh, dopehead idiots that are gang stalking me, if they can get it, and I know a lot of people that have access to neural monitoring. Some of them are gang stalkers and some of them are not. But you know, if all these local idiots can get it, and they're passing it around everywhere, it's starting to be very widespread. And the people who can't get it are the people that are being targeted, that they've done so much stuff to you, you know. And then it's thing where they already can receive what they know how you are. You know, you're profiled to a certain way. You know, if you're not going to put up with terrorism and slavery and all of these horrible things that they use it for, if you might be a risk, you know, to come out against those things, then you know you're flagged to not get it probably. But Havana syndrome is remote neural monitoring. It's EMF broadcast, and that's what it is. And I believe what Havana syndrome is a bunch of people that have access to neural monitoring that are trying to do something bad to do something good. They're trying to do something bad to do something good because it's getting the publicity. Okay, and they didn't really hurt those people. Those people went through one day of what we've been going through for years, every day. And so I look at it as they did something bad to help to expose something. So it's like they're doing something good. And I believe that's what it is. I don't know. This is just a little theory that I thought of. Like, why would a bunch of gang stalkers get together and use EMF broadcast to attack some people, some diplomats at an embassy? Like, come on. Like, I think they did it on purpose to get the publicity. And I think it's a big crock of garbage that they're calling it anything other than EMF broadcast torture. Um, just these comments pop up. They stay for like 2 seconds and they fade out. And excuse me, on iPhone coming back. On my Android, they'll come right back, but on my iPhone they won't. Also, want to let y'all know that the comments that come up while we're doing the video, um, I think COVID is a real virus, but I don't know. I think it might be man-made. I think they might have made it. I think go look around, man. It was a few years ago where it was like I would go through a drive-through or something, and it was sketchy. I didn't know if like, are they going to accept my card? Like, do I need to have cash? Like, are they going to accept my card? But then suddenly now I go through the drive-through and I'm like, are they going to take my cash? Like, are they going to even accept these green dollar things? Like, or do I have to have a card? And like, I go to the KFC, earlier, and there's 9 cars in the drive-through and nobody's inside. And I just walked inside and like, yeah, got my stuff real quick. A couple little hotties working in there too. And I was like, yep, I'm out of here in like 2 minutes. And the same thing the other day, I went and got my grandmother wanted me to go get her some Long John Silvers. And same thing, it was like 10 cars in the drive-through, man. And I went in and came back out and they're all still sitting there. And I done bypass the whole thing, but nobody's going in anywhere. And I think it's all like a thing where they're trying to keep people from going out and being. It's like they're gang stalking us. It's an isolation tactic. The whole thing. The elite. They want to keep everybody inside, keep everybody locked away, and they. I don't know. There's a lot of scandals going on. So, but this whole thing with neural monitoring. I don't know. I don't know, but they do ask my name all the time. I think sometimes it's because they got multiple drive-throughs, and you ever pull up at the drive-through and the cashier asks you. I don't know. Sometimes they do, but they do that to me at Chick-fil-A. But they also, they do that at some places, and it's like multiple drive-through things, and then when you're done and you're waiting to pull out of your drive-through into the thing, but the person next to you, they get done and then they break in line. It's like, come on, man! And you get up there, that it's all jumbled up. But I don't know. Um, I don't know. I don't think everything's a scandal. I don't get overly paranoid or whatever because a lot of things are just normal things that are happening, and there is probably a reason behind it. So I know how it gets though, where it seems like everything is just too coincidental, and they hit my lungs, they hit my heart, they hit my kidneys. They'll be like attacking the back of my head and like going in my neck and crawling in my mouth with broadcast. They attack. They like to like ooze stuff down. I can feel it going over my eyebrows and then into my eyes. They attack my genitals, my butt, my feet. They like to burn my feet. They are perverts. People on mind control. It becomes sexual for them a lot of times. But people can't control themselves already, and they get on mind control and they living as a broadcast. So look, when they get on mind control, right? That's one thing. They could be on mind control, but like there's certain settings they turn on and they connect to and start to like live as a broadcast where they're seeing the view back from a broadcast or something like that. It puts them into this like sleep state where it's like they're not really asleep, but they are. So it's like their body's kind of asleep laying there, but in their mind they're awake living as a broadcast. But it's like a subconscious type of thing where, if somebody's been like blackout drunk, or if they're like took a bunch of Xanax or something, and they're awake and but they're babbling on and they ain't got no filter and they're saying everything they're gonna regret tomorrow and acting a fool with it because their subconscious is coming out and they don't have any filter. Like, no, they see, one of them just started yelling at me, right? They don't like it when I talk about how they are asleep while they're awake, because they don't want people to understand that they can be awake 24/7. They're not physically awake 24/7. They're physically awake when they're physically awake. But when they're on broadcast, their body could be asleep, but they could still be awake. But think about this. If you could do things like in the digital world, like say you could be on the internet doing things, or like running a live stream, or like doing some anything digital world, like your digital self, like online stuff and stuff like that, you could be doing that while you're asleep. And that gives them that much of an advantage on anybody who doesn't have neural monitoring. There, right there, you got 8 hours a day that you don't have to be sleeping, but you are asleep, but you don't have to be sleeping, because some of them, okay, it just depends on who. Some of them are very coherent and reasonable, even as broadcasts. Like, there's this one girl that used to broadcast on my channel all the time, and I could like talk to her and say, when they're talking to you, artificial telepathy is like, a lot of times they're broadcasted, like, and they're talking to you, but it's like they're there but they're not. It's weird because they're there like as a broadcast, but their physical body is somewhere else. And so they're talking to you, but this girl was real coherent. Like, she could talk about like and almost like show you things, like as far as like hacker stuff, and like she was just a cool person that somehow ended up being a gang stalker, but she was very smart and coherent on broadcast, so she could like do things and make sense of things. And then there's some of them that just don't make any sense. It's like they're drank a whole bottle of tequila and they don't make any sense, and they don't care. Like, later they'll get abusive and act a fool, and then later they'll come right back and do it again, even though they know what they're doing. They might come off a broadcast and be like, "Oh man, I can't believe I'm acting like that," or whatever. But they don't care. They just go do it again tomorrow. Anyway, my device is going dead, so I'm gonna have to plug that up. And but I wanted to talk about that and read that report to you guys and talk about how, it is the police job to do the investigating. And even and it's even easier for them that I'm saying, hey, here's who did it. There's the direction. Go start there. Start there, because here's the crime that's happening. Here's the proof of the crime that it is happening. Here's the laws that are being broken that makes it a crime. Okay? And here's whom I'm telling you is doing it. So your investigation's halfway over. Now I've done half your job for you, and it's their job to do that. And as a citizen, my rights and my property is not being protected. And if I was to try to take matters into my own hands, they would arrest me or kill me. Okay, and I'd be the one in jail or dead or whatever, facing charges and all kind of stuff. So you can't do that. If you value your life at all, you can get angry and act a fool if you want to. It's not going to help you. You might get at one or two of them, but there's a bunch of them, and they need to start digging into this stuff, and they know what's going on. A lot of the police and stuff know what's going on, but it's a thing where, okay, if we if we start to um, if we start to recognize these things as crimes, this is going to lead to a lot more stuff. And this can of worms is going to get deep, and this is going to be a mess. All right. And they've been ignoring it for a long time, but I'm approaching it in a way that they can't ignore, because here's the crimes that are happening. I'm not even talking about remote neural monitoring. There's crimes that's what it's going to lead to. That's the can of worms that they don't want to open up, and that's why they're trying to ignore me and all of us on this other stuff. That's why I regrouped and came up with, here's the crimes that are on the books now, that are these are the laws that are being broken, and you have to investigate that. That's your job, and it is my right to have my properties and my everything should be protected. Okay, and that's their job and their duty. And I'm a citizen. I pay taxes, and these are the laws. All right, so it's presented in a way that's very hard for them to ignore. So I believe, at the very least, I probably could get a lawsuit to make them either have to pay me or investigate or pay for an investigation or something. Something. Okay? But I've been filing these police reports and just being patient. All right. But these gang stalkers, they don't stop acting stupid. Sometimes they do. Like I'll file this. They'll probably they probably won't corrupt any files or edit any videos or get too stupid on my devices for a week or two. All right, and then I have to keep going again. That's why I got 20 something police reports or more. Because after a week or two, it dies down. And, it's probably been a month since I filed one. Maybe 3 weeks. I don't know. It's been a little while since I filed one. Enough time for it to die down and for them to just start acting a fool again. But they always do because they're stupid. So here we are again. I'm making a very reasonable, logical case about this. And I feel like so. But I'll post the video in the description, the link to it. I put it up yesterday. And you guys can tell me what you think. But anyway, that is what's going on. And I'm going to file that in the morning. And I'll let you know how that goes. And they're not going to do anything. I'm just going to turn it in and leave. And I doubt they'll call or anything. But the way I sound on that thing is like, come on, guys. You got to do something. They got to do something. If they're not going to do anything, then I got to do something. And what I'm going to do is probably keep filing more and more, strengthening my case. And I'm going to get a lawyer and go file a fat multi-million-dollar lawsuit. And then they're going to have to go investigate them and pay me too. So something's got to give. Anyway, that's what's going on. Appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for everything. And thanks for all the support. And hit me up. It's email kevinchristian@gmail.com, or you can find me on Messenger. And that's it. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Thank you.